Greetings everyone, Julie Meyer here, bringing you a message of life lessons from the garden. A few years ago, God placed a passion in my heart for gardening. There's so many lessons that can be learned from garden and from nature. Lessons of endurance and getting through difficult times or harsh seasons. Lessons of peace and joy and trust. A few days ago I came across this reading while I was reading a daily devotion, and it just really struck me, and I thought I'd share it with you. It reads like this: Nature shows us how God is powerful, creative, organized, and how He likes variety. But God reveals many other things about Himself through the Bible. To know what God is like, we need the Bible. So I thought that was such helpful information that we really need to base our truth and our knowledge and our seeking to know God through the Bible. It really is the way God speaks to us and shows us and helps us grow spiritually. So I thought I would share with you a few verses that come to mind while I'm in nature and enjoying gardening or hiking. The first one that comes to mind, and it kind of revolves around God giving me the passion for gardening, is Psalm 34 verse 4. So let me get to that. Psalm 34 verse 4. Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. Another verse that comes to mind is Psalm 27 verse 14. This one is especially true to me in the spring when I'm impatient and I want the flowers to be blooming right away, and it's just so hard to wait for them to bloom, but I know good things are coming. So Psalm 27 verse 14, wait for the Lord, be strong and take heart and wait for the Lord, because in the Lord's good time all wonderful things will happen. And then another one that I wanted to share, that I often think of when I'm walking through the woods, and especially when I get overwhelmed with the amount of buckthorn and thorns and weeds and invasive things in the woods that I don't want in there. This is from John 16 verse 33, which reads, I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world. Finally, I think of Proverbs 3 verse 6, again when walking through the woods. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make your paths straight. I'll now take you on a virtual garden tour to kind of help show how these lessons apply. Some of us are spring bloomers. Some of us grow and start maturing later. Even though you can't see it now, there's wonderful things underneath there, ready to bloom soon. There are times when the skies get dark and you know storms are brewing, ready to hit us soon. There are also times of brightness and great sun. There is always hope and joy. There's so many life lessons to be learned from the garden and from nature. I'll take you on a little virtual garden tour here, show you some area that I'm clearing out so I can further enjoy our woodland area. It reminds me how life is such a journey, and there's beautiful parts like this darling little native woodland cover, but then there's also more difficult parts, like this buckthorn that's overtaking the woods and is an invasive species. It reminds me life is like that. There's beauty and there's struggles. But we just continue on our journey, and we can see the beauty within the struggles. There's some ferns getting ready to pop up amongst the buckthorn. As we continue on our path, we see there's a direction we need to figure out how to take. Which direction do we take? Do we go left or do we go right? Well, we need God to help us know which directions to take often in life. So through study of the Bible, studying on His Word, He's able to guide us so we take the right path. And if we by chance take the wrong path, He can help us get back on the correct path to keep us from harm. So now we're venturing on, continuing through more woodland area, which I'm trying to clear out. Just like in our lives, we're trying to clear out the bad stuff and make room for the good stuff. And then we come upon a creek, the flowing waters, which can bring us so much rest. We continue on and we hear the birds singing, not a worry in the world. God has given us many places where we can be at peace and have rest. We know that we need to rest in Him because He is our greatest comforter. Well, that ends the life lessons from the garden today. Thank you for listening, and God's peace and grace to all of you. Goodbye for now.